Hey, Grace Bible Chapel. Pastor Brian here, shooting on location at one of my favorite spots in Park Hill. I got a quick question for you. How are you doing? This is a question we often ask each other when we run into each other at the grocery store or on the street. But if we were to give a real honest answer, our answers might actually be not as pretty as other people would like to hear. And sometimes, when we're honest, it kind of makes people feel a little uncomfortable when we say that, you know what? Right now, things are super tough. And you might find yourself feeling that way during this Thanksgiving season. I want you to know that you're not alone. A lot of people that I come into contact with throughout the week have been honest with me and have said, you know what? This has been one of the worst years ever. So, as we think of the topic of being thankful, how do we flip the switch from focusing on the negative things in life right now, because there sure are a lot, and how do we switch it from being negative to positive? Honestly, as I've been reflecting this past week on this answer of what are you thankful for, it's been a real struggle. As I think back to our lesson about Cain and Abel last week, there's one thing that stands out to me. And the spot that stands out to me is when God and Cain are talking together and having a conversation about what's going on inside of Cain's head and inside of his heart. Do you remember what God said to Cain? God said to Cain that danger is knocking at the door of his heart. And what was that danger? That danger was anger and jealousy. What was God's advice for him on how to handle that? God told Cain that he had to master it. To me, I get the image of a wild animal and being able to tame it somehow. And in some ways, this makes me think about the negativity that I feel crouching at the door of my heart as well. I think it's so easy to get so discouraged about all the bad news and the negative things that are happening in the world. And I think God's absolutely right when he says that we got to take control of those things that are crouching at the door of our heart. In order to flip the switch, even in my own life, I need to focus more on God's truth. And one of the most amazing things that even when the whole world is in chaos and everything is going bad, the one single truth that I can cling to during these hard times is the simple fact that Jesus died for me. I know that some of you might think that's a Christianese answer, but no, you know what? This is so true. I remember talking to our friend Hilmar about 3 months ago. And as I was getting to know him, he would share about some of the families that were struggling in Guatemala. I remember saying to him, Hilmar, I am so sorry that they're struggling so much and that they don't have food. But you know what he said to me? He said, you know what? As long as my friends have Jesus, food doesn't matter. He ended up putting such an importance on Jesus. And even though they were starving and weren't able to get food, Jesus was still more important than that. What a great reminder from our friend Hilmar. As we're facing tough times, I pray for your family that you will be able to understand Jesus' love and grace in spite of these challenges. All right, GBC, I love you. Thanks for letting me share that. I'll chat with you later.